Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? Um, I'll give you my little spiel first. It seems like I've read for you before, but I'm not sure I do so many. So, I explain real quick. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. I try to describe the picture the best that I can. There's always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind because you'll either see it later, remember it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, I know what he's talking about. This is not exact science. Communicate the best way we can. So sometimes you'll have to stretch it outside the box a little bit. And it's his show. It's up to him to say whatever he wants to within reason. He's standing behind me over here. So, and I'm sorry, I did not see you answer my email, and I thought, how am I going to find her? How am I going to get a hold of her if she? Because sometimes people will send in their sister's email and then they never get my message. So probably part of my COVID fog, I guess maybe I missed it because my head was pretty foggy there for a while, even after I got well. And you people pay your hard-earned money to hear from your loved ones, and if I'm foggy, I won't do readings until I'm pretty much back to snuff because it's not fair for you to spend your hard-earned money on half-ass shit. And I can't do that. And I did refund a couple of people because they didn't want to wait, and there was nothing I could do. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with that, but there was nothing I could do about what was going on. Stupid virus. Anyway, we're going to talk to Christopher. He's being very quiet behind me. He leans over and he whispers very quietly in my ear, I love you, Mom. I love you, Mommy. I really do love you, Mommy. I know you think maybe I left because I didn't love you enough, but that's not true. That's not true at all. I just hurt, and he's not talking about physical pain. And it was a kind of hurt that you couldn't have done anything about. It was a hurt inside. He was too embarrassed and ashamed to really open up to anyone about it. For somebody like maybe an uncle or a cousin or and when I give relationships, so I always tell people the little lady next door can feel more like your grandmother than your real blood grandmother clear across the country that you talk to once a year at Christmas. They always make my head itch. I always look like I have head lice when they get too close. But I don't. Said yes, there was a kid about his age, so I'm assuming at school that he kind of confided in, but then there was somebody else that he kind of did, but he never actually opened up. And it's too bad that majority of people that, something like that, they feel that way because they're ashamed. They think they should be able to get a grip and handle it. And we shouldn't be ashamed. So he said it's not really anything you could have done anything about. And he says, I'm sorry. And he's taking ownership for it. Total ownership, he says. Okay, he's showing me the suitcase. whenever they show me that, it's like you need to let him own this. It is his, all his, whether you have any guilt in it or not. It's all his. And he wants you to put all of that in an imaginary suitcase. Just imagine a little suitcase sitting there. And you put all of that inside of it and sit it down and let him pick it up because it's his. It's an energy thing, and it's hard to explain. I don't know if you know anything about energy work, but it's an energy thing. And if you could actually give it back to him, set it down and let him take it, he knows how to, what word do I want to use? Transpose the energy. Because once we get up there, there is nothing but love for us. We are not judged. We are not criticized. And I always say they peel us like an onion. They like peel all that heavy earth crap that we hang on to here that we shouldn't, but we do. And they peel all that heavy energy off of us until we're light and bright and our spirit is vibrating at the level it should be. I hope this is making sense because he's wanting me to tell you this. So know that he knows how to transmute that burden where we don't always know how to here. And it's almost every single one pretty much says that they're cleansed like that and stripped of all that. And then you got to stop and think, am I really holding on to that much crap that I don't even realize I am? Yeah, it took me, look how old I am, and it took me just a few years ago to figure out I was still holding on stuff from when I was 5 years old. It was very traumatic. So I thought I'd gotten rid of it, but no, I'd stuffed it down. So just, he says, Dad too, if you could just give it back. He's showing like, now it doesn't have to be in your living room, but that's where he's showing it right now. It could be anywhere at any time because I don't feel like it's just once. It's like he walks over here, he walks around me, and he goes off that way. And he's showing like he does this all the time. And he's showing it on the right side. It could be the left side. I know this is all sounding vague, but he's showing like he comes behind, he walks around, and then goes off in front. So you should feel his energy. You might just feel a sudden chill. You could feel like warmth all of a sudden on one side. You could feel like what feels like a little bit of air moving, but it's not like a breeze coming in from outside. Well, actually, when I did this, that slight breeze, you might feel that little whoosh as he goes by. Or you could just feel like there's somebody in the room. There's somebody close to me, but I don't see anybody. I'm not sure how you will feel it. So he wants you to know he does this quite frequently. So like I said, and it probably won't be your whole body. It'll probably be, you might even feel it come from behind. I can feel him pushing on my back now. And it is kind of like it's kind of like a big balloon, a big bubble pushing, but it's very soft. So it just kind of a change in the air pressure. It goes around, comes back out. So he wants you to know that that's him. He's standing in the doorway to the kitchen. Like I said, they'll show me a certain spot. It doesn't always have to be that exact spot. It might be, but it might not be always the same spot. But he's standing like in the doorway of the kitchen and he's taking his feet and going step, 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 step. Like, and he's actually picking them up about this high off the floor, and he's not really stomping. So if you hear like a footstep, You've seen him. We'll get to that in a second. You've seen him, but he's still doing the step, step, step. So if you hear something that sounds kind of like a footstep or something, and you start to look up, and always, most people see them in the peripheral vision, and I include this up here because I can be working at my desk and I'll see somebody walk by, but when I raise my head up, they're gone. Even though I can see them like all the time, I don't know why it works that way. It's like you might see somebody walking down the hall and you turn your head and go, ah, no, that was my imagination. No, it wasn't. So you either have or you're going to. And it looks like you're going to raise your head up and kind of get a glimpse of something, and then psh, it's kind of gone. And you'll think, yeah, just imagine that. No, you didn't. Or no, you won't. Okay, so, well, I don't know what part of the country you live in, but he's showing his dad like sitting outside. I would say out back, may not be, just looks like a bigger patio. Uh, and he's just sitting in a chair and he's thinking, kind of aimlessly thinking, just kind of in a daze. And Christopher says, I'm right here. I'm right there when you do that. I'm standing right there. Men are, men don't really accept this type of work as much as us girls. So I don't know if he would block it, poo-poo it. Christopher thinks he doesn't think he's ready to realize that he's standing right there. I don't know how long he's been gone. He holds up two fingers. I don't know if that means 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. So he kneels down in front of his dad. Well, if you're in my part of the country, it's 7 degrees outside right now. I don't think anybody's going to be sitting outside. So this could be something that'll happen in the spring. Don't know. But he kneels, squats down in front of him, and he puts a hand on the top of his left leg. He should feel a warmth or pressure, could be tingling in that spot. Sometimes when they really wanted to get my attention, it felt like they were sticking me with a pin. I did that one time, like stick, 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 and I said, who the heck is doing that? That's not nice, that hurt. And the very next stick was on my ankle, and I have a tattoo that says B.O.B. on my ankle, and it was right in the middle of that. So I knew it was Bob. But you can always tell them it hurts, but if they really want your attention, sometimes they can really get after it. But I don't think he'll do that to his dad, other than he's shown like he's pushing harder on top of his, on top of his leg by his knee, pushing harder. So he's trying to put the pressure on so he feels him, but he doesn't want to scare him. Doesn't want to freak him out. He says, I want you guys to know I'm okay. He ran into, and he feels very peaceful, very calm, very, very loving. He ran into, I want to say like a classmate, and they may not have been very close. They didn't have to be very close to be somebody he knew in school or knew of. First, he was showing me a boy about his age. Then he showed me a girl about his age. I feel like the boy was somebody from school, but I'm not sure about the girl. She's got long, straight, dark hair. Very young, well, to me, probably his age, looks about his age. Very pretty. I'm not really getting the feeling that, and he's not saying if she was actually at the school that he went to, or I don't really feel a relationship. So I'm not sure, but there's always a reason why they bring somebody else forward. So the boy, I don't know that they were buddies, but he knew who he was. I feel like they both left by suicide. The girl, I'm not 100% sure. The boy, I feel like he left by suicide. Christopher knew of him through school somehow. Anyway, he wants to know how you're going to dress up for your party. Are you having a party? It's already past the holidays. You have a birthday coming up, some event coming up. He says rings on your fingers and bells on your toes. I think there was an old song with something like that in there. He says dress up, feel pretty, mom. And he goes like this, kind of shake it off. He says kind of shake it off. Make yourself feel pretty again. He says, I know it's tough, especially this time of year. I know it's ugly out there, and that's one huge reason why I'm glad I'm not still here, because everybody hates everybody right now. And he's not talking about family, he's talking about the world, just all the crap going on. And I've had several of them say that lately too. Man, I'm glad I'm not there to have to put up with all that shit. Be kind to one another. He's talking about you and his dad. Be kind to one another. Now, if your husband is not his dad, he's referring to him when he says dad. Don't think it was your fault, because it totally wasn't. Okay, he's talking about some kind of memorial. And first I thought he was going to show me a tombstone, but then it looks more like a little plaque, like you would put in your garden that maybe somebody would give you at a funeral. That type of little plaque. He's shown me outside in a flower bed. He goes by and touches it. So he knows about it. Has some kind of a saying on it, but I can't read it. I keep trying to think. Now I'm not hearing what I'm hearing. He's singing the song. Gosh darn it. Let me ask Alexa. Okay, I'm not sure how this fits in with you, but he's singing Don't You Wish Your Boyfriend Was Hot Like Me. Only the song says Don't You Wish Your Girlfriend Was Hot Like Me, but it's called Don't Cha, CHA, and it says by the Pussycat Dolls. I don't know them. That's out of my league. But anyway, go Google that, because I'm not sure. I wouldn't think he'd be singing that to you, but he's singing boyfriend instead of girlfriend. So I'm not sure how that fits. It's his show. He says, yes, yes, Mom, I'm being a good boy. Spoiler alert. He said, spoiler alert, I'm being a good boy. He's very patient. He's very understanding. He's very calm. He's very mellow. He's very at peace, very peaceful. And They don't allow me to see too far, like what actually goes on behind the scenes. I have been taken back a handful of times to get little snippets, little insights. But I do know that when we leave, we still have lessons to learn for our soul's growth. And he's doing what he's supposed to do. Always talking about grandma, 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 grandma. I It could be a grandma. I would say more like a great grandma. So okay, shall we? Very, very kind of short, petite, um, older when she left, or at least that's how she's presenting herself. Very soft spoken. She would have been loved by many. I got grandma. He says, well, I should say grandma's got me. And he's very happy with content being there with her. I don't know that they're together 24/7, but he's and like I said before, the little lady next door can feel more like your grandma than your blood grandma. So I hate to throw that out there just in case, even though that makes it a little vague. He says, you need some coffee in the morning, Mom. And he laughs. Do you not like coffee? Do you never drink coffee? I don't know why he's laughing. Or you drink your coffee and you're still dragging? That's me. I need some coffee. Okay, he's talking about my rose quartz. Rose quartz is for love. I don't know if you even know anything about crystals. This is kind of a bigger one, but I got it really cheap. Excuse me. This is a that size is okay. That size is okay. Um, but he's talking about. I don't have one of those necklaces in here. Like getting a necklace, and a lot of them will have just the long little skinny piece of rose quartz hanging on it. Excuse me. Need to quit smoking. It helps heal your heart. Learn how to put it out under the full moon to recharge it. Um, do you have another necklace that has something on it? Like, darn it, like something long and skinny? Something on it, something special on it. Almost like a little tube. But he want and those little rose quartz little thingies, they're really cheap. They're really cheap. They do wonders. Okay, he's mentioning there's some kind of a group picture. And I think the picture you sent me, he looked like he was in a football uniform or something. It's a sports picture of the team. It could be football, unless he played some, but one of them, he's talking about championship. So even if it was just a championship, just local, something about a championship. He's very proud of that picture, very proud of that group, that team, what they did. He says the togetherness, the camaraderie. He's very proud of that group. Very proud that he got to be part of that group. And he says he loves each and every one of them, even the assholes. that now that he's where he's at, he understands more. I think he's talking about the relationships with some of these people and why some of them did what they did and didn't do what they didn't do and that whole type of thing. Okay, you might go back and look at the video. My little diffuser right there that lights up and changes colors. And you can kind of hear it humming, making a little noise when it's on. It just went out. So evidently it ran out of water. But, I was sitting there listening to it. Man, I don't usually notice the noise, and all of a sudden it quit. And he says, just like that, just like that. That's how my light went out. Just that simple, just that easy. It just stopped. That's how my light went out. It was just so simple. He felt like you needed to know that. And I'm okay with it. Now I need you to be okay with it. It's what I felt like I needed to do. Put the suitcase out there. Okay, he's talking about some song that you're going to hear, but he's not giving me the song, so I'm guessing it's probably something I don't know, like the Pussycat Dolls. I don't know them. But it's something about a ranger, Ranger. I don't like Lone Ranger, Ranger. Maybe I don't remember there being a song with the Lone Ranger in it, other than the actual theme song. Look how old that show is. That's when I was a kid. Something about Ranger. So when you hear it come on the radio, or you could be watching a movie and somebody could be singing a song about a ranger, or you'd be walking through Walmart and something could play. I don't know because he's not giving me any of the music or words other than it's something about a ranger. That'll be a sign from him. He's not, I don't think he's talking about a side by side that's a ranger. It's a song. It's about a song. And something about the curtains moving. He's showing the living room. Doesn't have to be the living room, but that's just where he's showing it. Like the when they're looking out front, when you pull it to the side a little bit and you peek out there to look outside. Maybe this is something he used to do all the time, but you should see that curtain moving. More than likely, it will just be real slight, like you might go to the kitchen, walk back in, and it looks like it maybe dropping back down or just wiggling just a little bit. Know that that will also be a sign from him that he's around. He spends a lot of time popping in and out. Stop blaming yourself, Mom. I don't like to see that. I love you. Don't forget the party. Dress up. Even if it's not your birthday, maybe he's wanting you to have your own party. That makes sense. Just you. No, he wants you to spiff up. It's, it's January. It's cold. I've been actually trying to get started on trying to clean myself up a little bit. I get really grungy in the wintertime. Make you feel better. I love you, Mom. He's doing some weird little hand thing, like or something. Maybe he's doing that, but he's kind of doing that. I am around. I will be around. Just trust me. And with that, he's leaving. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. He's talking about your husband. With that, he's gone. Okay, my dear. Thank you. I thought he was going to say something, even though he's way out there. Um, thank you for getting in touch with me again, because I really thought, how am I going to get in touch with her? She didn't answer the email. I don't know how to find her. So glad you contacted me and asked. That was my mix up. Hopefully my brain's not going to be foggy anymore and I can get everything together, get back to normal. Whatever that is. Much love to you, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Later.